The podcast you're about to hear was made with Anchor. Make your own podcast for free at anchor.fm.
You're listening to the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce and tech news, presented by Sumo Heavy. Here's your host, Bart Mraz.
This is the E-Commerce Minute for Wednesday, September 13th, 2017. Apple's new Town Square retail concept.
At Tuesday's big event in Cupertino at the new Steve Jobs Theater, Apple retail chief Angela Ahrendts revealed that the Apple Store was no more. The stores will now be called Town Squares. She says, "We don't call them stores anymore because they're gathering places for the 500 million people who visit us every year. Places where everyone's welcome and where all of Apple comes together." That's my imitation of her. Basically, Apple's new stores will be a cross between a retail store and education center packaged up like a plaza. The goal is to make Apple stores forums for collaboration, Ahrendts said, and places to buy $1,000 phones. The new reimagined Apple stores will show up in the largest cities. They will include the new Genius Grove, which is essentially a redesigned Genius Bar, as well as a new in-store experience called Today at Apple. Meanwhile, new Creative Pro employees will be on hand to help bring Today at Apple to life, Ahrendts said. Apple will also begin offering coding lessons to kids at its stores and host additional hands-on educational workshops and events, including sessions for photography, music, gaming, and app development. Ahrendts said Apple will continue to open new town squares around the world, but will also reinvest in current locations and flagships. The traditional glass cube design will return, but expect them to be outfitted with more plaza-like green space, including the iconic Fifth Avenue location in New York, which will be rebuilt and expanded in the next year.
Oh, that's great, but how about them phones?
Yeah, but how about them phones?
So obviously everybody's talking about the phone itself and all that stuff, but nobody's really talking about these Town Square stuff. But here on E-Commerce Minute, we are retail. So let's talk about it.
Okay, so I read a couple articles last night, and there seems to be a lot of eye rolling. Like, I understand the rebranding; they want to make it more of a space, but there seems to be some eye rolling. Seems a bit pretentious to call them town squares, because a traditional town square is, it is a gathering place, but I think it's the whole town square with retail built in was a bit much for some people. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a little much. I don't mind them putting stores and then making them green spaces around it. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's what the new campus kind of does. Telling them in town squares, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm what, like, on the in the presentation yesterday, she showed some pretty impressive real estate that's being changed into Apple stores, and I think a lot of people are against that.
Yeah, like what is it, the Carnegie Hall or one of them Carnegie things they're putting? There's Apple logos on there, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's a little much.
I mean, the one building they showed in France, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was called, but there was this beautiful building, and they repurposed it, and then it could have gone a different way, but to have this giant Apple store in these iconic spaces, I think it's a bit much.
Yeah.
And again, this could just be a branding exercise, because they're calling them Creative Pros and Genius Groves and Town Squares. The thing that I do like is that they're bringing more education, and they're making it more. You can go there to actually learn something. They're doing.
Yeah. I mean, they've always had that, right? But they're going to expand it a lot more.
They're going to expand it. So I would say,
creative.
right. So I would see like a new town square store would actually have a dedicated space, as opposed to, hey, we're just doing this in store. Because if we walk into the Walnut Street Apple store and there's stuff going on there, and it's just so crowded. They need a
they actually do have space upstairs, believe it or not.
Oh, they do. Oh,
they do. It's private space. They actually use it for shows like that, and the company, you can do it for a company. Actually, you can use it as a conference room. But something like the store in Soho has a big, huge theater. That's kind of cool too. But they're gonna definitely. I think it's good things.
So I guess my point is, the smaller Apple stores that don't have the additional space, I wonder what's going to happen with them and how they're going to conduct these classes.
Exactly.
But at any rate, again, I think the moral of the story is I think it's just another giant branding exercise.
Correct.
All right. Anything else to add?
That's it. Just want the iPhone.
Just go buy an iPhone. Save your money, kids. All right, that's your E-Commerce Minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today. If you like the show, make sure you add us as a favorite and share this with your friends. Please follow us on social media at Sumo Heavy. And finally, if you've got a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, call us on Anchor. Until next time, we'll see you on the next e-commerce minute.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.